Money Moves with MIM 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a mother movie. So today we're going to be reacting to a video of a woman saying that she is in $70,000 in debt. So today we're going to be giving our own personal perspectives on this video. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and let's hop straight into the content.
Number. That just was not my story. This is kind of hard to admit and say. I am broke because I'm literally starting from $0 and 0 cents. You guys, it has been such a long time and I'm so excited to see y'all and to be back. My name is Deb and I am a minimalist who talks about mental health, money, and living simply, aka minimalism. This is my fresh start. I am coming on here to be completely transparent about something that I've had a lot of shame for over the past 2.5 years. And I'm releasing that today in attempts that my transparency will help someone else. This is kind of hard to admit and say. I am broke. For now. How did I get in this position? I think that I prematurely took the leap of faith that we see all over social media of creatives who quit their jobs and start their businesses. We hear of their success stories, how they built their business from 0 to $1 million in the first year, or you know, some crazy wild number. That just was not my story. I quit not one, not two, but several jobs in hopes to do this blogging thing full time. And what I learned is that
Oh, there we go. Now we're getting into the truth. First of all, if you guys do not like the commentary, um, I'm sorry, but I do a lot of commentary on my videos. But first and foremost, guys, what did she say? What is a minimalist? You know, when I think of a minimalist, I'm thinking of somebody who is, you know, financially aware, meaning somebody who wouldn't need a loan or something like that. So I'm like, how are you a minimalist? Like, or is it okay for people just to say, come up with something that they is and just say it? Second of all, um, a lot of people gotta be complete fools to go off and quit your job for YouTube. You know, even if you was making $1,000, $2,000 a month, you never know when YouTube is just gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna make that this month, and you're not gonna make it next month. You're gonna make $100, you know, like that. And a lot of people actually think that quitting their job and going being a full time vlogger is the way, but it's not. Let's keep it moving.
self-care for me is being financially stable. Having some consistency every day really helps my mental health. I actually currently have a gig economy job. And if you don't know what gig economy jobs is,
We know what gig economy jobs is. You're talking about something like DoorDash or something like, this new stuff, Uber, um, gig shift or something like that, gig economy. Like, I hate when a lot of modern women, they try to make what they're doing sound like it's big, but it's not. Let's keep it moving.
Google it, but it's essentially like the new version of when people would go to LA to become an actor or an actress, and they would wait tables and wait for their big break.
And now they're all homeless Sleeping on the sidewalk in LA.
By going to like 1,000 auditions, but I was doing that same exact thing with the gig economy and doing apps like DoorDash and Lyft and Uber Eats and all that type of stuff.
What I
I've
tell
seen
you,
people make $1,800 a week doing both Lyft and Uber. But for me, that just wasn't the case. I just like did not make that much money, if at all. Like, you just have to be extremely disciplined to do that. And to be totally honest, I just wasn't. I had so much stuff going on in my personal life. Don't think I shared this on my channel, but I just recently lost my mother back in June of 2019, and that took a really big toll on me. I talked about it a tiny bit, and I haven't really talked about it much with like family or friends or anything like that, but really has been challenging since like other areas of my life are affected. And when I think back on it, it's because like I'm grieving. And I have been grieving for years because my mom has had an illness for several years. So to go back a little bit and get back on track about money. So after I graduated college and got my bachelor's degree, I got a job at one of the largest companies in the entire world. You probably have an account with them.
and that's the reason why they're the largest company in the entire world, because the emphasis that people put on these corporations, largest, on with the largest company. If me or you created a company and people would say, "Oh, I went with one of the best, one of the largest, the greatest place. I got my bachelor's degree. I was making, yeah, we'll be successful too." you know. But what this woman is saying does not add up. It seems like she thought that life was gonna be easy, you know, but now she's in debt, which is not a life sentence, but it is a slavery sentence, meaning that you'll be a slave until you pay off your debt, and you're beyond broke. She's not just broke. She's negative $70,000 broke, meaning that she has to pay the $70,000 back. Then she can start saying that she has money. So this woman is probably going to be broke for a while, guys. And what did I say? People do not, just because, like, this chick probably got good grades in school. She probably talked about guys like me. Oh, he's ugly and he's unattractive and stuff like that, and he's a weirdo. But look now, you know the thing about it, like, it, and it be the C, the D, the F, because I used to make D's. I graduated high school, but I'm like a D student. I'm like a straggling the fence a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people like me are the ones who become very successful, you know, because we suffer, we learn, you know. Well, a lot of times, a lot of these smart kids get to college or whatever, get grown, and then start getting piles of debt. But let's keep it moving.
And at first I was so excited. It was so random. Like, I feel like I randomly applied for it on Indeed. Like, weeks later, a recruiter got in contact with me and I was like in the door. And I moved back from Richland, Washington to Seattle, found an apartment in University District. I don't live there anymore, so that's why I'm sharing where I used to live. I lived in U District in a studio. I was paying like $10.90 a month, I believe. Yeah, $10.90 a month, plus utilities and stuff like that. And life happened. To be totally.
So when she say 1090, guys, I was trying to think what she was saying, but she's saying she was paying 1090, $1,090 a month plus utilities, which is rarely cheap. Now I don't know when she made this video. I think she made this video not too long ago because like that's pretty cheap. $1,000 for rent. That's the new norm, depending on where you at. You know, if you in New York, studio $3,000-$4,000. You know, but let's keep it moving.
To be honest with you, I haven't known how to navigate corporate culture. One thing that I know about me is I don't really thrive in corporate cultures. There were plenty of times where I wasn't successful, but there were definitely moments of success. I know that it's just not the route I'm supposed to go in life, and I kept trying to force it and had so many different corporate tech jobs in Seattle, but it just like wasn't clicking. I'm making more money, but I'm still miserable. And I like really don't enjoy the people that I'm working with. I eventually just stopped saving. Don't stop saving your money, by the way. Thought, oh, I saved like $4,000, so I'm good, right? Wrong. You always want to save as much money as humanly possible because you never know. I stopped budgeting. Yeah, the girl who talks about money and living simply stopped budgeting and got into like impulse spending, which is, I feel like such a hypocrite because I've talked.
And I agree with her on this. It is easy to become an impulse spender. You know, you got it. You ain't had it, but you got it, and then you want something, and you don't need to do it, but you do it anyway. Impulse spending, you know. I agree on that. But a lot of times, a lot of people, we have careers and we make great money, and we think that this is gonna last forever. Working for somebody else's company. This is gonna be this. I'm gonna do this forever. And that really doesn't be the case because anything can happen. And next thing you know, you're unemployed and broke. But let's keep it moving.
About how to overcome this. I've talked about how to prepare a plan, packing snacks, eating before you go out, even like drinking if you have to before you go out, like saying no to happy hours, like all this stuff. I talked about it, I taught it, and life happened. But you know what? The good thing was it was a humbling experience, and I'm now able to fully relate to people who really tell me like I can't do it. Like it's really challenging for me. And so now I just have even more ideas about how to stop impulse shopping, and I'm going to be documenting my journey as well. But
hey guys, for your personal experience, do not take any of this lady's advice until she's done paid off all her debt. You know, that's just my personal opinion. We shouldn't be taking advice from somebody who is not where we're at, you know, in life, and not where we're trying to be at. But if she's doing better, then take that advice. But I feel like she can't give no type of debt advice while you're in debt. Overcome it, and then you'll have a story to tell then. Well, let's keep it moving.
yeah, I was overspending. I wasn't budgeting. I was spending all my money on food. I got the clothing thing down. I wasn't really buying clothes, but the food was my coping mechanism. The food comforted me because I didn't have to think about my mom in that moment or my family in that moment. I didn't have to think about the situations that were happening around me. I didn't have to think about my past mistakes and failures. I just ate everything. Have gained a lot of weight. That's okay. Life shifts, evolve, you grow, and the beautiful.
I'm so tired of modern women, modern black women talking about they spent all their money on food. Like you ain't never cooked the lobster at your house. You know, it's a lot cheaper to cook it at your crib than go out eating. You know, a lot of these ladies that, you know, they go out and, you know, they're making good money. They don't want to cook no more. They get lazy. And that's where they're gaining the weight at. They get lazy. They don't want to cook, stop moving around. And next thing you know, they start gaining all this fucking weight. Well, let's keep it moving.
Thing about it is that I can always lose weight, but also I'm trying to just accept myself, because even when I thought I was at my heaviest, Like, I thought I was so fat, and then looking back, I'm like bigger now. And I think we all go through those moments, but I'm just trying to accept myself for who I am right now and just really love on myself. I wasn't just broke financially, I was actually just broke emotionally and spiritually. I just had a lot of traumatic events happen in 2018 and 2019 that really just like almost took me out. So crazy, because I was like motivating other people and like writing these captions and blog posts to encourage other people, but I was like really suffering. That really affected my finances, and it also ended up making me financially unstable. And so I'm so excited about this new job because that savability is going to be coming back. I'm just so grateful because I just wouldn't be in this position if God.
All right, so I'm not gonna react to the whole video, but if you guys want to show support to this content creator, her link will be in the description next to source. I think she's doing a bunch of ranting right now, talking about her insecurities, talking about her thinking about her weight, debt, and I'm not gonna we're not gonna do all that. But the simple fact is that you do not want to put yourself in a position, where you're thousands of dollars in debt like this. Because until you pay it off, you're broke and you're a slave. I'll let you guys on the next video. Over and out.